What's up, guys? Daemonxel back again with another Eve Echoes community news update. I know I have not put one out in 2 weeks. I get it. I understand there's a good reason for that, though, which we will get into. But a lot has happened since the last recording. We have the biggest heist that was perpetrated in Eve Echoes to the amount of 7+ trillion ISK. We have had Dead Corporation finally getting their rewards of the I forget what the contest is called, to tell you the truth. Sorry. But they finally got the rewards after 8+ months. After players have left the game, they finally got the rewards. And, of course, the other big story is this weekend there is a Null Sec Summit going on, and it will be happening live on the Echoes of New Eden podcast. It's going to basically be like a presidential debate, and we're going to get into that as well. So, let's talk about it. Okay, so the first story is the biggest heist in Eve Echoes history. That is 7+ trillion ISK stolen, ripped away from the corporation Atom from the Space Cows. This was done through a basically a loophole in the privileges on one of the roles. I'm not really sure which role it is, but I believe it's the role when you first make the corporation. It gives you this one role, and that was never set in active. So he used this to rip the company off. So let's get into what was said. So I was talking to the CEO of Atom. He shared me the talks between Atom and Taylor Rick, just in the transparency of the conversations. This way, all news outlets would have the information. So I do have those out, and we're going to be getting into that. Now, the reason I haven't put this video out before, when this happened, when I first learned about this, was because the person that caused the heist was named B-Town, and I reached out to B-Town to get his side of the story. Like here, we like to have all sides portrayed when we are talking about the news. So I reached out to him. He said he wanted to have a couple of days to get his thoughts together. After those few days, I reached out to him again, and he basically said that he didn't want to spoil anything for his live interview with Taylor Rick and Rambo, which will be happening on the 31st. So it's not even this weekend, it's the following weekend. So this will be old news by that time. But that's when he'll be on that show giving his side of the story. So let's go into the screenshots, the information that was shared to me about how all this happened, how this all went down, and the history behind it. So it goes here. It started with a conversation with B-Town in January with Trimark CEO. Stim Junkie and I felt that the Space House merger, though profitable, was becoming difficult to manage logistically. Now, if you are not familiar, we covered it before a while ago. Trimark Industries was one of the founding corporations in Eve Echoes when the game first came out. They finally closed their doors. Sorry about the additional noise there. I got the windows open, just get some air in here. But yeah, no, they closed their doors and they were folded and merged into the Space Cows. So they says, we wanted an outlet to Null Sec so that we could build supers more easily, and we wanted an isolated pocket like we had back in Aquarius. We missed that. So we approached B-Town with the merger idea, and he kicked it upstairs to the CEO, Raven Striker. It was not easy. Adam felt like we engaged in a hostile takeover, as we had wealth, T6 corporation tech, and a bigger player base. For us, it was just efficiency. This was the crux of the argument that ensued. It was always looked like TM was bossing everyone around, and that Atom was losing its soul to the selfishness. There are parts of the Space Cows that still feel this way. Fine, we just know how to spreadsheet and make ISK. We've always been just an industry alliance. God. I'm sorry, I remember when that was coined. That was back in the TF Trimark War. That spelled the end of Terran Federation. I remember intimately that war, where it was made. Oh, you guys just want to, shoot space rocks and drink beer. Yeah, you guys know that copy pasta. Okay. We think we have teeth. but maybe you have a different opinion. February and March, we were in the thick of a merger. The Space Cats, leaving silent, galvanized the need for space, and we pushed hard to get the merger done to help out the Alliance, and that was closing argument that we need access to that pocket. We're learning at this point that we have a lot more players and a lot more assets than Atom. Actually, Trimark has 2 trillion in assets, and Atom has debts to its player base. All right. He goes on to state that there was a deep perception among Atom base that B-Town's take a penny, leave a penny philosophy had made him an extremely rich player with all the newest toys, all the new big ships, everything like that. Our first impression of him was that he was saying, "How rich are we now?" Our manufacturing bros started butting heads with B-Town over his tone of voice and his brash impulsiveness. Trimark was used to working together with an eye towards efficiency and profit, and often B-Town just built things at a loss for himself with corp assets and then said, "Hey, I donate PI." He had 8 passes in Delve and didn't pay tax because I donate fuel. Or another quote, "The ore is free," and we would explain that no, the ore comes from the buyback of the pilot time in space farming those space rocks. So no, there is a cost. We were losing billions and billions in percent loss. The guys told me it's us or him, he has to go. Raven explained to me that B-Town was concerned that Stim Junkie was subliminally mind-controlling Raven. That kind of doesn't make sense, but that's how it's worded there. So I was getting annoyed, and I blew off steam one day and with Stoney, telling him all these things and how aggravated we were getting There should be a period there. A couple of days later, Stoney removed B-Town from CEO and seconds and the FC roles. Someone that volatile should not be in that position. So Raven and B-Town are best friends, and DevStave, who is a lawyer and in the Space Cows directorate, now had a shit show on their hands. Of course, his roles in Atom were stripped in this too. Very quickly, the issues that we were having were redirected to Arduina. Is a snitch, he's a snake, he did this. Instead of being a man, he bitched us out. So, you guys know, like I said, Raven and B-Town are friends in real life. All right, he goes on to say that we spent 3 months working on a personal action plan with Dev, acting as counsel to help see B-Town's accountability in this, but also to heal the wound and get him back into the fold. So basically, he was kicked out, stripped of everything, and they wanted to bring him back because, feelings were hurt, loyalties were tested, that sort of thing. It was going a little slow, and right at the peak of this, B-Town found my real name and started using it. So now we have a soft docs situation going on in Discord throughout the Space Cows. Adjacent doxing is what one of our police officer pilots called it, so we had a whole come to Jesus moment, a real live intervention actually. So basically, Raven met up with him in real life and they had a chat. I don't know if punches were exchanged. I don't know how anything like that went, but yeah. It says, B-Town and I apologized to each other. We were going to break up the merger, and Raven knew it. A month goes by. His closest friends left Atom. So this all went down on the 13th. And it says, this morning, Raven and B-Town wanted CEO roles back. I said that, in my opinion, this is more about elevating himself so that he could avoid accountability for his actions, because he continued to make dumb impulsive purchases and we lost money again and he wasn't communicating. Raven agreed and decided to change the roles. Stim would be made simply CFO, Dev and I would be second in command, Raven was full CEO and executor, and all the directors. So, 6 hours from when that happened, B-Town used the glitch, exploit, kind of screwed up privileges that came with that initial role. And 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 2.5 hours later ago, B-Town ripped everything. So he stole everything, and in that includes an Aeon, a super blueprint, an actual Aeon, parts for another Aeon, fully fleshed out parts to build yet another super, every single ship and every single mat in Atom, 5 trillion. Now this went up to 7 trillion because he also was able to take a lot more from other areas, as well as ripping out the wallet itself. All right, now I also have a statement from the CEO, Raven, as well. One is basically saying that Adam has been around since day 1 of the game, and we're not going anywhere. We've been knocked down many times. This is the biggest time it's ever happened. This is the only time my corporation has ever been robbed. 2 players within my corporation were scammed earlier in the game, and some people equate that to my corporation being robbed, which is false information. He goes on to say that the corporation itself is going to come back bigger and stronger than it has ever been due to the outpouring of donations and also the outstanding relationships that we have built over the 4 years of this game. He goes on to say that the future plans for Adam is to create the largest industrial powerhouse this game has ever seen. I'm going to come back bigger, better, and stronger. He also says that we've already, as I said, taken tons of donations from many corporations. We've been offered assistance by several friends from other alliances, and Stoney will be on. Oh, he talks about how Stoney was on the podcast last weekend, but that was future tense. So that is basically everything that has happened with this. Now, let me see if there's anything else here. Oh, he goes on to say about the glitch. He says that he pulled it off while being locked out of the main value hangars by using an exploit in the original director role that the game gives for just making the corporation. I didn't realize at the time, due to a terrible description, that the director button is a problem. But even when disabled, the role continues to act in a way like a CEO, granting perms and access to themselves. It says, now that since we have opened multiple tickets to the devs about this, because we have had perms working as described in the game, that this would not have been possible. Either way, that's the end of the story. Now, NetEase has said themselves that they do not sponsor, scamming, stealing, all this stuff. So, due to this glitch, it does come, will this character's account get banned? Probably not, because it was using a role that, as the purposes, was doing what it's supposed to do. So unfortunately, they're not. I don't think they're going to be able to recover the accounts from that account, and I think B-Town will continue to play on that account. Again, I do not have any corresponding information from B-Town. Again, he wants to hold that for the podcast on Echoes of New Eden on the 31st. I do not have a time for that show yet. When we get closer, I will put that out for you guys. So the corporation Dead Space is finally coming back to the game. As you can see here, they are part of the Remnant Echoes Alliance. The corporation Dead finally got its rewards. I think it's like 8+ months, right? And I'm just flabbergasted. I know many people have had problems with the custom artwork, how long it takes, but they've been going tooth and nail to the point where their player base demanded they get their stuff back, and this was months after people that have won that was it Eternity of the Galaxy, Edge of the Galaxy, that contest where you get the custom stuff done. They got their rewards before Dead Space got theirs. So Dead was waiting forever, to the point where the players got so fed up that they left EVE Echoes to go to another game. I'm not sure if it was EVE Online or other games throughout the game sphere, but some did stay behind. Now, as far as I know, Immortals is back. He's playing again. I did get reached out by one of their spokespeople. It basically did say that, let's see here. Okay, so their medals, they have been, they've already passed those out, the medals that they received. They are now based out of Recon. That's the Alliance. He goes, we got some more medals after they expired, and they took too long, but it took way too long. And I had to spend months to get the much-earned rewards for everyone. Eventually got Immortals back in the game, and the admins and mods changed their hands again, and finally we were able to get a hold of Cloud, and finally got it taken care of after me and the newest mod pressuring him, as well as the Immortals and me having other members to open tickets. Dead was not going to give up this matter. We won and we expected our rewards. When they said we were going to reward us, they have to deliver. That's the statement made by Dead. So it's good to see them back. I remember playing with Dead for the longest time. They were in one of the founding members of Terran Federation. God, I love that. That first year of the game, to me, that first year of the game is still the best. I have the best memories of this game during that first year, back before supers, back before everything. Hell, this was back before battleships were in, right? I remember we got overrun because all of a sudden tornadoes came out, and then the attacking lines that hit us were able to mass produce tornadoes, and they just ripped us to shreds. But yeah, I'm lamenting about that. But let's go to the final story, and that would be the Echoes of New Eden. Okay, so the Echoes of New Eden is basically hosting a debate, kind of like a Null Sec Summit, where several topics will be brought up and spoken about in a debate format. Now, the moderators, like the staff, which I am lucky to call myself one of the staff members. I know you guys don't see me all the time there, but I try to make a show up. I try to contribute during the week behind the scenes, everything else. But Taylor and Rambo are some of the hardest working content creators in the game currently, with never fails. They have a show every single week, most of the time. But let's go into what is going on now. Who is going to happen? Who's going to be here? Well, that is going to be the Silent Alliance head FC, the executive council member, Joda. He's going to be representing Silent Federation. The Kraken Alliance co-founder and co-executive, Jacoba, he is going to be there in attendance as well. The Space Cows executor and Grand Mubra, Stony Sluts, will also be in attendance, and to round out the panel, the director of X Corporation and previous executor of No Please Stop Alliance, Run. All four of them will be back and talking in several pre-made questions. Now, the way the format is going to work, right? It's going to be in debate form. Each member of the panel will have 2 minutes to answer a question when it is asked. 2 minutes each for a response if named or targeted. So in other words, say Jacoba points at Stony Sluts and says something, right? Well, he will have now 2 minutes for a rebuttal for that. Also, the additional 2 minutes at the moderator's discretion. Now, unlike the presidential debates and the stuff like that, the mute button will be in effect. So yes, the 2 minutes does count. They will mute them if they keep going on and on and on. Now, they do ask everyone to be professional during this. They ask that no one talks over each other in response. They will have their time to rebuttal. They ask, do not make us mute you in moderation, but they will do it. I know Taylor, I know Rambo, they will swing that mute button hard. The rules for the conversation are going to be no targeting of the age, gender, or any views outside of the game. This is all about inside the game, and all answers or opinions must be game related. Now, those of you in attendance, now this will not be live, right guys? This will not be live through the YouTube channel. This will not be live on the Spotify. Well, it's never live on the Spotify, but it won't be streamed to YouTube, won't be streamed to Twitch, so they can get more people in the audience. It's going to be recorded and then put back up. Now, if you are in attendance, you can use the on-air chat for a conversation. The guest panel could read the channel if they chose. Please keep conversation civil. No targeted attacks. If you're there to cause trouble, just don't. And to keep the topics that are being discussed during the time of that debate. In other words, if they moved on past the topic, don't be bringing it up again. React accordingly with what is being talked. Now, at the end of the debate, each guest will have 2 minutes for a closing statements. The panel guests will have provided questions ahead of time to prepare their answers. They are permitted to check notes or engage with the audience if they choose. By accepting our invitations, our guests have to agree to those rules, which they all have. Now, I do not know if there's going to be any questions on the spot. It may happen. You'll have to go in attendance to find out, but if you are not, unfortunately, able to attend, it will be up later on all their social media platforms. And finally, things out. Mario has put a stop to the fake killmails for Echoes.mobi. People were submitting ridiculous fake photoshopped killmails. He goes on to say, he had a couple statements here. Let me just pull them up here. Alright, here we go. Let's see. He's added another measure to stop the anonymous posting of killmails. Your server has to be approved now to be able to post screenshots and use the bot. All servers before this update are whitelisted. Post one fake killmail though, and your server will get on the blacklist. So yeah, you post a fake killmail, your server can no longer post killmails to the only kill board we have in the game, guys. So don't screw this up, okay? He also says, please close your public killmail channels. Apparently, on the 19th, the guy who was uploading fake killmails is now using Discord servers which have open channels to post all this. So basically, Mario has been basically having a headache the last 2 weeks, having to deal with this crap. But as you can see, this is one of the best things that we have in the game. And it's not even put out by the developers, right? This is a hardworking content creator putting out stuff for you guys, like the Killbot, the leaderboards. This is a fantastic resource. I hope you guys use this all the time. There's some great kills on here. I have not decided whether I'm going to keep doing, big kills. I haven't done one in a very long time, but just the price of everything are just astronomical these days. And I honestly, with work and everything else, I don't think I have the time. I would love to pass that torch on to someone else for big kills and stuff like that, but it is what it is. So that's everything I have for you guys. I hope you guys found this entertaining, informative, all that good stuff. Thank you for supporting me over the years with this channel. I know a lot of you are not liking my new content. I started branching out to another game that I've been enjoying and making content for and been feeling passionate about, but it didn't mean I was going to leave Eve Echoes high and dry. I'm still making content for Eve Echoes when I have time. I'm still trying to get news videos out at least once a week if I can. But yeah, so till I talk to you guys again, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Adventure safe or fly safe. And remember, always on this channel, we are one vision, one purpose, one front. Be sure to check out the podcast tomorrow with that debate. It's going to be killer. It's happening 12 noon Eastern, I believe. Let me just double check the time for you guys. There we go. I put the graphic up on the screen. I should have had this graphic up earlier. I'll try to edit it in before. But again, this is going to be 4 p.m. UTC +0. My time is 12 noon on the Eastern Shore. Again, this is going to be, on the guest panel is Joda, Jacoba, Run, and Stony Sluts. I hope you guys make it. It's going to be a great time. And again, like I said, on this channel, we're always one vision, one purpose, one front. See you guys there. Have a great day.